All right, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is Swamp Fox Frias once again, here to call another match of vintage baseball with none other, the Barrel Roller himself. How you doing, Barrel Roller?
Doing great. I'm doing much better than the grass on this field, Rudy. How you doing?
Doing great as well. And yeah, the grass on the field has seen better days, for certain, as we
I think
are.
I think painting the grass the color of dirt was an outstanding choice for this one, Rudy.
Yeah, as we are here for the Sunday of the 2024 Ohio Cup, the Whaler Baseball Club, from, I believe, New England, against the Clodbuster Baseball Club of Dayton, Ohio. We joined the match in progress here as the Olivia is going to line the ball out to left field with a runner on first, moving the runner to second base. Here in the first inning, we have runners at first and second with Jed up to the plate. Fun fact, Jed knows Olivia.
That was not fun. Uh,
No, that's a fun fact. As he lets the first pitch go by,
it might have
gonna
been a fact, Rudy, but you have a strange definition of fun.
he lines the ball into the a ground ball into right field. It's gonna get past the second baseman, scoring
A
Tom.
very a poorly hit ball, Rudy, probably due to the amount of bat twirls.
We'll find out here as TJ comes to the plate with a runner on first and second. Uh, this this field, Barrel Roller, as you might imagine, if a ground ball gets by the outfielders, it's a home run. It doesn't matter how hard the ball is hit. If the ball is on the ground and gets by the outfielders, the base runners do not stop running as TJ lines the ball to the shortstop, who's unable to corral it. He's going to hit it to the fence out in center field. Olivia is going to score. Jed's coming around third. The ball is not going to get to the cutoff man in time as the Whalers take a three-run lead here in the first inning. TJ standing on second.
No bat twirls by TJ, just business.
And the proof is in the pudding, as you can tell. Brings
Oh, I
Mike to
love
the plate.
pudding. Pudding.
Mike's gonna turn on it, but that foul ball is gonna get into the tents as our third baseman's gonna go off screen here as he searches for the ball here at the Ohio Cup. For our fans watching, the entire left side of the field down the third baseline is populated with shade tents and other clubs watching and waiting for their matches. As Mike slow ground ball to the shortstop, who stops it, but was not able to hang on to it to make a play. Runners at first and second, no outs here, with Champ coming to the plate.
This is a bound match, so there's going to be plenty of bound opportunities, high bound opportunities on this field.
Oh, absolutely. It's a like people who have played on this field for the Ohio Cup are well aware, but usually there's like some grass to pad it. Not this year. Rock hard concrete.
It's
Champ
gonna,
hits a of pop fly. It's going to be fielded on the bounce by the shortstop for the first out of the inning. Did you see how high that ball bounced?
yeah, are there any divots out there, or is this pretty flat?
There's a few, as you can tell. There's one around the third base area. You can kind of see a little bit of it. Um, the Muffins worked hard to try and fill in all areas of the field that had little divots and indentations. Bo hits another pop up to the
Yep.
shortstop.
The one of the biggest mistakes of the power hitters in vintage baseball in a bound matches is not changing their philosophy. And on this field, you definitely have to change your philosophy. You got to keep it down.
Oh yeah.
and they're
The
still uppercutting swings.
Yeah, and as you can see, the people scurry across the outfield to try and make it to the opposite field as Doug hits a pop fly to the center field, who's going to be charging in and collect it for the third out of the inning. Whalers score 3 runs here. This match, so from home plate to the fence in the outfield, it's around 235. So it's not a deep outfield. Any ball going over the fence is an automatic out. So your pull hitters, your power hitters, you have to change up your game if you want to be effective in a match such as this.
Usually it's the left-handers that have to worry about a shorter fence or changing their swing style to adjust to a field. There's not too many times where it's the right-handed hitters that have to do that.
Yeah, there were actually only 2 fields. Well, honestly, 1 field where people were able to hit without fear of like hitting anything or hitting or any ground rules, and that was the field in the upper right hand corner when we see the full field view. That one had a pretty open outfield as Mr. Hebert is at the plate. Hebert.
Bear.
Oh, and you can tell by his reaction that that was a foul out to start off the inning.
The worst feeling in the world.
Mr. Parillo at the plate. I'm going to give him the old Spanish pronunciation of the double L. So if you're not mi gente, I apologize. But yeah, the field, you can see the shade tints up there in the top of your screen. That was the field with the least amount of restriction.
I think in this day and age right now, Rudy, going on, you might want to go ahead and say Perillo. You know, let's just play it safe for the gentleman.
Mr. Perillo hits a hard ground ball to Mr. Frias at third base there, who was able to stop it but not make a play as Mr. Buckner comes to the plate. One of the
You mean Mr. Fries? Mr. Fries.
Mr. Fries. Yeah, we've been caught.
Go with that.
Mr. Buckner gets under it and hits a line shot out to right field. Was attempted to be caught in the air, but batted down, collected on the first bounce for the second out of the inning. But Mr. Perillo takes the second base. 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
See some grass by second base, so that's good.
As you'll notice, there are no foul lines, striker lines, or pitcher's lines because those were all chewed up in day 1 of the Ohio Cup. Fun fact, Barrel Roller, you can't spray paint dirt.
Also, fun fact, Rudy only puts in work on Saturday of the Ohio Cup.
Mr. Evans hits a hard ground ball to Mr. Frias at third base, collects it and makes a throw, but the throw was not good. And now we have runners at first and third with Mr. Miller at the plate. The Whalers, I believe they brought 9 guys exactly, and 1 guy was injured, so that's why Mr. Frias has stepped in at the third base there. He is not from New England. Mr. Miller with a ground ball to the shortstop, who's going to collect it and toss it over to second base for the third out of the inning. Whalers still on top 3-0 heading into the second inning. It's, Barrel Roller, in like Sunday at the Cup. Like, it's not your first game. You're getting closer. You're getting deeper into the day. People are tired. The ground is hard. Your joints are hurting. Like, it's little things, the little plays that you make are going to pay off in the long run. Like, you got to make those easy outs when you can. Otherwise, it's going to be a long game for you.
Advice to everybody who doesn't want to get asked to play in matches because everybody comes up short because of numbers and injuries. Don't be good. How's that? Then you don't have
Yeah,
to worry about getting asked.
don't be good, don't be close, and don't be in uniform just standing around.
Yeah.
Here is Ian, as you see, not a resident of New England, at the plate. The Busters are very familiar with Mr. Frias as he's been playing them for 32 years or something like that. Line shot right up the middle into center field. He can coast into first base there as the ball is just now getting into the infield. And that was. I like to yell at Ian from the sidelines because he can't chase me. Top of the order, Tom at the plate. Lifts the ball out to right field, and this is what we're talking about. The right fielder went to play it on the mound. It scooped past him, and that ball has rolled into the middle of the field at the top of the corner. Ian's going to score, and Tom is going to beat the throw for a 4-bagger, adding to the Whalers' lead 5-0. Routine play, barrel roller, routine ground ball. If it gets by the fielder on a normal field, yeah, he's probably definitely got a double, possibly a triple. The ball does not stop on this field. It rolls for days.
3 demerits for the fist bump.
I like it.
I miss your brother. What's Eric doing?
Me and Dad, his oldest son, his oldest child, is currently a freshman in high school and wanting to play high school baseball. So he's devoted all of his time to coaching and training his son this offseason.
You missed the joke on that one. You missed the joke so bad.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I'm not taking the bait. Olivia at the plate.
Last thing about Eric,
Yeah.
he played last year.
Yes, he did. He played a couple of matches.
Is he playing again this year, or is that?
He is not. He is slipped back into retirement as Jed comes up to the plate with 1 out.
It went that bad, huh? Okay.
He's got a line shot to the second baseman. He's not going to be able to control it. Jed standing on first. 1 out. Bringing up two. His return at the Ohio Cup did not go as planned in 2023. So he decided not to do anything in 2024. Look at that.
Oh, I thought he played. Oh, that was more than 1 year ago. Was your match with Rochester 2 years ago?
I thought it was in 2023, wasn't it? No.
Was it?
Was it? No, that was 2024. That was this past year, right?
Didn't he play in that?
Man, this is the issue with doing a January content because you're
It
like,
might have been 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago. I think we played Rochester in 2023. Hey, the pitcher found a divot. Oh no, it wasn't a divot. He tried to stop a ball, rolled his ankle. Oh my gosh. These fields are very close to one another.
Wasn't it at that match between the Capitals and Rangers that I finally got Paul Hunkley on the podcast?
And I was stuck out in the field. Yeah, that was that match. Missed that match. That was so much fun. Gonna get a ground ball, hard ground ball to the shortstop, who's gonna stop it but not be able to collect it. Collects it in time to throw out TJ at second base. Jed takes his third. Mike standing on first. 2 outs.
2 in, Sports in second. Tag it home.
Champ up to the plate. Nice hard ball out to left field. Andy hopped to the left fielder, who was able to collect it for the 3rd out of the inning.
Did they tag him at second?
No. I think he didn't realize there were already 2 outs and just tried to make the play. Whalers on top, 5-0, heading into the bottom of the second. The Busters, you don't. They may not be the Busters of the '90s and the early 2000s that dominated vintage baseball, but do not sleep on this crew. Uh, I think it was like was it 4 years? No, it was 3 years ago that we called Buster's Fun Guy, right? And the Village. And the Busters won on a walk-off home run by that big guy, Mr. Evans.
Here we go.
I don't remember. I don't have that kind of memory.
Well, trust me, it happened. It's Mr. Cross comes to play.
I do trust you.
You know, the New England club, hats off to them because they are not used to this style of game. As Mr. Cross is going to hit a pop-up out to center field, is going to be collected on the bound for the first out of the inning. They play open stealing. They play your typical 1864, 65 bound rules. So
accurate.
The allergies are bad. I'm a bit of a roller. So they're definitely rolling with the punches here. A line shot out to center field. Center fielder is going to come in to collect it, but not before it takes a couple of bounces. Got a runner at first here.
That was he really reached out for that one. I'm surprised it got as much distance as it did.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised that it didn't take a huge bounce. I mean, I can't stress enough the conditions of the field today. As we're going to see, ooh, look at that. The catcher coming out of nowhere, collecting it, thinking it was the third out, walking off the field. Nobody else believed him.
Look at how cool I am, and then all of a sudden not cool.
Yeah, it's like, here we go. Why is no one else following me?
It's a wide range of emotions that just happened within 3 seconds to that gentleman.
And honestly, I'm going to blame his club. If his club didn't back him up and start walking off the field too, shame on them. Back your guy up. Be like, yep, that's 3. Convince everybody. If you all walk off the field.
We don't have to be honest anymore. Come on, just leave and just say it was 3.
Mr. Byington's going to pop up, and it's going to be collected by the pitcher on the first bounce for the third out of the inning. Whalers are making quick work here as we head into the third inning. They're on top 5-0. Hey, Barrel Roller, what was one of your favorite parts of being out on 17th Avenue right here for the Ohio Cup in your experience?
The fast service at the McDonald's, Rudy.
Oh, I tell you what, they did it up this year. McDonald's did not get a lot of business. No, they did not get a lot of business because the Muffins called in multiple food trucks. There was the Sausage House had a food truck, Fork of Nigeria food truck. There were multiple food trucks, not just like a hot dog stand and Kona Ice. As Bo's going to lift it out to left field, Mr. Evans can like that in the air for the first.
I will tell you my favorite memory. I do have one, and it's you and I. Before we started our friendship, we were just acquaintances at this point still. We were between acquaintances and friendship at this point. And you were playing in a match. I was there to play, but I wasn't playing. And we sat down in front of some hay bales. It might have been this field. And we sat there, and then you would have to run out and play, and then you come back. And I really feel like that day we forged our friendship, which would lead to things.
To life partner. Yes.
But we had so much fun. We were laughing and joking, and so many things happened that day. And
Yeah.
It was we laughed so much that day. So that's my favorite memory of the Ohio Cup, and I think a lot of people have a memory like that. I don't think baseball memories are what everybody would point to.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And that's going to be the third out. Doug fouled out for the second out. Kid Frias put it out over the fence. And like we said, anything over the fence is an automatic out. So that is the third out of the inning. Kid Frias trying to plead his case. I didn't even hit it hard. I can hear him. But no dice. You know,
But you don't get this many clubs coming to an event for baseball. They don't have to travel this far for baseball. That New England club did not come here for baseball. They came here for the camaraderie and to meet new people and to see new baseball clubs and all of that.
absolutely. I mean, that is like after Sunday, the New England club, the New England Cup club, and then the Muffins and multiple other clubs gathered at my brother's little camper, and like we hung out for hour. I hung out for about an hour and a half because I'd already spent the entire day there, like 12 hours at the Ohio Cup. But like, yeah, you go to hang out. That's like my favorite memories are sitting in a tent with you, drinking drinks, cutting up, having a good time. That I mean, yeah, I get to play baseball, but I like hanging out more.
That's why the unofficial drink of the Ohio Cup is apple pie moonshine.
Yes, it is. As Mr. Hebert hits a ground ball to the shortstop. It's going to be bouncy, but he's going to collect and fire over to TJ for the first out of the inning. And, you know, on Saturday, the unofficial food, as all the vendors show up and everything, is tamales. My dad gets tamales for.
Oh, yes,
But
that's
the
great.
problem is he tells everyone. So then there's like a line of like 15 people to get tamales, and then like so.
I asked him one year, and then I only did it once because I feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But he gives them out. There are people coming up to us and they're like, "Are the tamales here yet?" And we're like, "No, not yet. They'll be here." We're gonna get a pop-up to the third baseman. Kid Frias is gonna take 2 steps over, collect it for the second out of the inning. I'm actually sitting probably 12 feet away from Ian in my tent, having a drink, chatting it up. On Sunday, I played with the Canal Fulton Mules, so we were in between matches. And just cutting it up with Ian, trying to distract him as Mr. Buckner comes to the plate. He's going to pop it up to right field, who's going to let it take a giant bounce but collect it for the third out of the inning. As we see another vintage ballless running over to collect their ball. These fields are connected to each other, so you're going to see a lot of like overthrows, foul balls, stoppage, but it's the understanding at the Ohio Cup.
Yeah, looking at this field, I can't help but think that the Muffins took the term "rub some dirt on it" too literally.
it, it's there was I think we were looking at like 25 days of no rain at this point. We were actually under a burn ban here. As there's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. He's going to stop it with his foot, but he's not going to be able to make a throw as we got a runner on first. Yeah, the Franklin County and a lot of the state of Ohio were not allowed to have outdoor fires. At one point in Franklin County, you were prohibited from grilling outside because of the drought situations that we were facing. Olivia at the plate with a runner on first. Whalers up 5-0 here in the fourth inning. Ground ball to the second baseman. Going to collect it. Fire over to second for the first out. There's going to be a play at first. Not in time. First baseman was able to stop the bad throw, holding Olivia to first base as Jed comes to the plate. Jed's gonna pop up to right field, who's settling under it, collects it in the air.
Everyone's going to right field this inning. You remember, is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because if they can get it on the ground past the right fielder, you just run. Like
Twins, first and second.
it was so bad. I'm gonna tell you this, that I hit a home run on a weak ground
right
ball
field
that got
as well.
by.
Yep.
Yeah. Goes to right field, collected on the first bounce for out number 3. Whalers still on top, 5-0. Heading into the bottom of the 4th. Like, I believe Jed in his previous game had hit 2 home runs because he hit it out to right field, it got by the right fielder, and you just kept running. Few of the games, because this camera right here is posted up behind the hay bale. That's why we're able to get this amazing angle. But a few of the games, the hay bales were so close that when they made plays on it, they knocked over the hay bale and the camera. So I got some pretty great action shots. Mr. Evans, it's a high pop fly to left field. Was trying to collect it on the bounce, was not able to because it did not bounce very high.
There's a patch of grass out there, Rudy.
He found the lone piece of grass. Mr. Miller looking to move Mr. Evans around the plate, the bases here. You know, with this field, the other issue is that the bags are those hard rubber bags that are not staked to the ground. As Mr. Miller hits a ball in between third and shortstop, advancing the runner to second, Mr. Miller takes his first. So, like, if you hit the ground and the base at the same time and push off, rounding, heading to the next base, the base goes away, and most of the time, the runner's rolling because it is just like hitting a slip and slide. Must be a conversation at third base happening between spectator and Ian Frias as the ball gets by the pitcher. Throw is made. Mr. Evans is going to advance on all the muffs, leading the first run for the Clodbusters. Mr. Miller takes the second. Mr. Frias is having quite the conversation over there, looks like.
Is that a third base coach?
I think it's Dick Graley trying to confirm where Ian's playing next. We got a pop fly out to right field. Going to try and be collected on the first hop, but won't be able to. Throw coming in. Not going to be in time. Clodbusters plate another run here in the bottom of the 4th with no outs and a runner on first. Mr. Miller plated the second ace of the game.
It does look like a lot of people trying to go over to right field, which is making them change their normal tendencies, and we're not seeing a lot of solid hits to right field. Just attempts to go to right field. You should probably look. It's mostly dirt. Just do what you normally do.
I'm telling you right now, they watched Kid Frias just pop up for an out at third base. Ooh, there's a ground ball to third base. He stops it, but it's not going to be able to make a play. Here's a fun fact to tell you. Mr. Frias hurt his hand on that. The ball caught him in the mitt wrong, and he's feeling it right now. He's telling me about it right now. He's like, that really hurt.
Well, it's not ballet.
Dynamite drop there. Mr. How would you say that last name? Foul?
I wouldn't, Rudy. I'd leave that to you.
He's gonna ground out to first base on a ground ball hit straight to the pitcher. Advances the
I would
runners.
pronounce it.
Advances the runners to second and third with one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Mr. Byington at the plate. Ooh. Technically, that's a balk. But rules don't matter here. So they're going to allow him to reset and deliver.
Ain't that the truth?
He really wants to place this ball to get those runners in to help out his club. One out here. Gonna line the ball over the shortstop's head.
I'm surprised that bound didn't carry to the left fielder.
I was expecting the same thing.
Because he hit it pretty hard. I thought that would have.
Yeah. And, well, he was able to plate a run, and we got runners on the corners here with one out. Ooh, hard swing and a foul tick out for the second out. I believe that's his second time foul ticking back. That's
nothing worse in the world than that feeling, other than finding out that you fathered a child when you were younger. But that didn't happen to me. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, not speaking from experience.
I'm saying,
yeah,
a child shows up on your door at 18 years old and says, "Hey, Dad." Yeah. I assume that's a much worse feeling than fouling out, but that's about it.
That's it. That's the list. I believe it's Mr. Perillo at the plate. Runners on the corners, 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Gonna hit the ball high and in the air down the third baseline. Left fielder is gonna collect it on the first bounce for the third out of the inning. Clodbusters trailing by 2, 3-5, heading into what essentially is the final inning. You're not going to get more than 5 innings. It's rare that you see more than 5 innings in a game at the Ohio Cup.
And I wouldn't say this match is exactly moving along at a rabbit's pace. So
yeah, like if these games, some clubs show up to win, some clubs show up to hang out, and playing is a secondary thing. Like if you get up there and you're not taking a bunch of pitches and you're putting the ball in the play, you'll see more innings. But this is pretty typical. Mike comes to the plate. Ground ball up the middle. Going to be collected. Nope. It's going to get by the shortstop out into center field. Luckily, the center fielder stops it. Mike is standing on first.
That ball's not going to slow down on bounces like that on this field. So the speed it has passing the pitcher, it's going to maintain that. And you might get thrown off by that at shortstop position, used to it slowing down a little bit when it's hitting grass.
Yep. And, I know this from experience. That ball is rock hard. It's like a waterlogged ball that dried out, so it's twice as hard. As we get a pop fly to the shortstop, who's going to collect it on the first bounce for the first out of the inning. Kid Frias came over and he's like, this ball was soaked and now it's dried, so it's like super hard. And he's like, that's how he was hurt his hand. Is Bo's gonna hit a hard ground ball in between shortstop and third base into the left field. Runners at second and first, 1 out.
this match is still close enough to where you're willing to put your hand out there. There's got to come a point where you're getting late on Sunday at the Ohio Cup and it just doesn't matter anymore. You're just like, protect yourself.
I feel like I've got to drive home. I've got stuff to do tomorrow. Big swing and a miss by Doug. Looking to move the runners across here. One out.
And Doug.
Ooh, the ball's going to get by Mr. Evans out there. Doug's going to head into second as Mike crosses the plate. Whalers extend their lead 6-3. Hey, that brings up Kid Frias to the plate. I think he's talking about how much his hand hurts. It's his left hand. So, opportunity to score some more runs here. But he also doesn't want to hit the ball out to left field as he knows that it will go all the way for an out.
There's a big gap on the right side. If he's thinking about keeping it down, which, I don't know, does he ever think about that?
I don't think so. As he turns on it, short hop to the third baseman who's going to fire across the field. The throw is terrible, but Kid Frias did not get out of the plate quick enough. Wasn't hustling down the line. Out number 2, but he does plate 1 run. 7-3. Tom has had a big day at the plate. Ground ball straight to the pitcher. Collected on the first hop for the third out.
Oh, a handshake. Nice to see.
I hate like pitching and having balls hit back at me, and I hate swinging, especially when you don't mean to. Because let's face it, some people mean to hit up the middle, but when you don't mean to and you hit a ball up the middle, super apologetic.
Run the ball.
I do not have the reflexes of a mongoose to be able to play the pitching position. I would get concussed.
Here's a fun fact, Barrel Roller. You can see Kid Frias has collected his bat and is going home, as another Frias is trying to get dressed at third base in his Mules uniform.
Swapping out of the Friases so he can go play in a different match?
No, he hurt his hand. Well, also, yeah, I think he also had to play in a different match, but he was like, he's like, I can't do this. Can you play third base? And I had to put my drink away and get dressed to be out there. See, I'm still trying
to... They put you on the infield, so I can only assume a big comeback is in the works here for the Busters.
You're going to have to find out. Wait and see.
Just a hunch.
Mr. Buckner up to the plate. I mean, the game is still within reach. This is their last at bat. You got to think, and you're like, anything can happen. And we're going to see what happens. He swings hard. Not going to be able to get a hold of it. It allows me to take my... I'm like still trying to put my shoes on. Praying that they don't hit the ball to me.
Well, this New England club is not familiar with your infield
prowess
abilities, so they're not worried yet.
They're not familiar with my infield abilities during matches such as this. So they're going to find out. Mr. Buckner lifts the ball out to center field. Olivia tries to collect it on the bounce, but it takes a bounce over her head and it rolls all the way to the fence. Mr. Buckner hits his second bag and he's heading to third. The ball reaches the cutoff as Mr. Buckner gets to the third bag, but misses the second cutoff as he has a 4-bagger.
and then, as a last slap in the face, kicks the ball back out into the field of play.
That's how Frenchie rolls. Mr. Evans at the plate. Buster's trailing by 3 as he lines a ball out to left field. The ball bounces over the fence. A ball that bounces over the fence is a ground rule double. A ball that goes over the fence on the fly is an out, so Mr. Evans will take his second bag. Mr. Miller at the plate. Flag's in the way, but it's aesthetically pleasing, so we'll allow it to happen.
Is it?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Mr. Miller lines the ball right up the middle.
Used to be.
The center field. Center fielder is not going to be able to get it cleanly as Mr. Evans is going to score from second base, and the Busters with no outs are two.
Flag is going crazy. Did you have a wind change happen? Is that why the flag's in the way now?
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's really rocking back there.
Yeah, it's definitely in the way as Mr. Cross is at the plate. We're going to cut back to our field view for this. Just want to make an out here. You know, if you have the lead and you're in the field, you just want one out. As Mr. Cross is going to hit a ball that won't be able to be collected on the first bounce by the center fielder. No outs, runners at first and second. Down by 2. Busters are making a move here.
That feeling of the game slipping away and there's nothing you can do about it.
You're
running out of time. They're catching up. You're not getting anybody out. You're running out of time.
You just want anybody to make that first out for you. Ground ball to the third base.
Here's the guy to do it. Oh, I guess not.
It was a hard ground ball. Got through the third baseman's legs. Able to be deflected to the shortstop who tried to make a play, but the throw was not in time. Bases loaded. Bottom of the
Seems
fifth.
like your error led to an injury there.
I feel like the injury was a product of trying to do too much.
You mean like catch the ball? You weren't trying to do too much.
I wasn't injured.
Oh, yeah. Your misplay led to his injury.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to blame him for trying too hard?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Welcome to my world. You got a glimpse of me letting know Honest John that I would not be playing for Chelsea in the next match. So, ground ball to the shortstop, who's going to collect it eventually, but not in time to make it out.
Did you just make a text?
No, Honest John came up to me right before that hitter. Was like, hey, are you going to be at our next match? And I was like, unfortunately, no. Bases loaded, down by 1. Busters trailing 6-7 here in the bottom of the fifth.
There's nothing like chasing ball players on the Sunday of the Ohio Cup. It's a tradition like no other.
No outs. You really just want to put the ball into play here. See what Mr. Byington does. He's going to lift it out to left field. It's going to bounce and be collected on the bounce. Throws coming in. Uh-oh. Oh, I launched the ball into the parking lot.
One of my greatest regrets is to not be there. I'm not there for that. Oh my God.
I mean, in my defense, I had not had a chance to warm up, and the match will conclude by a score of 13-7 in favor of the Busters.
Did that match end on 2 errors?
Yes, it did. It did, because it just gets worse from there on out.
Oh,
And
there's more after that. You just cut it out.
they just cut it out just for the sake of the
'Cause
fans and the
how many
out of
more errors
respect
would
for
you
the
go
club.
and make?
I
How many?
those were the two I made. I made two, and those were the two. And as you can tell, I did not stick around for the end of game congratulations. Ian's has stepped back in to take my spot. uh, yeah, it
You
was
didn't even stick around. Is it because of the errors or because you had to go home?
I had to go get I had to get ready for another match. I was playing with the Canal Fulton Mules on Sunday.
Oh,
So I had to leave and get to my match. But
tradition like no other.
I know, right? But once again, the Busters prove that whether you're down 5 or 6, the match is not over. So for the Barrel Roller, I'm the Swamp Fox. Thank you for joining us for another lovely vintage baseball match at the Ohio Cup.
Baseball.